everyone and welcome to another episode of Rift News, the show we have done the last time when everyone was a bit more optimistic. And, well, since it's been a while since we have covered the news, today we will sum up all the important stuff that happened this month, as well as look at some really cool new things. And so without further ado, as always, let's first have a look at what is happening in League. On live servers we got the Coven event, and since this is a smaller event, you know exactly what we got here. Orbs, tokens from missions, additional tokens from the pass, chroma skins, icons, borders. Prestige skin. It's the exact same thing as always, nothing new. But at least we saw the return of One for All. And very soon the new Debonair 2.0 skins will drop into this event as well. These are the Crime City skins for Akali, Darius, Shaco, Twisted Fate and Zyra. But also the 3 bonus Phoenix skins to celebrate the 10th anniversary of League in Asia. These skins are for Anivia, Xayah, and honestly a pretty good one for Seraphine. But while the live client stays relatively peaceful, outside of it a lot of people freaked out. Because an artist that was working on the Z comic posted this! This is where I would be angry and I would start ranting if I was an idiot. So to quickly calm everyone down, no, this is not canon in any way. Riot didn't reveal Jhin's face. What we are looking at here is the concept art which Riot had to get somehow, so that the artists that were working on the comic could draw realistic Jhin. Specifically, they needed some kind of reference to draw this specific part. That's the part where Jhin wasn't masked. However, the face is meaningless. The face was never meant to be revealed in the comic. And that's why the face here is just a reference. The face is here because people need faces to look realistic. Not because this is actually what Jhin looks like. For this concept art, they could have also done this. That would have the exact same effect because the face doesn't matter. In fact, long and behold, that's exactly what Riot did. In the digital version of the Z comic, they did reveal this image, but they censored Jhin's face. Because this is concept art and the face doesn't matter. So the reason why it was censored there is to make sure people don't think that Riot is going to reveal Jhin's face. That is not the case, this wasn't revealed on Universe, it didn't appear in the game, it didn't appear in Legends of Runeterra. Why would this be canon? Well, simply said, it is not. Let's move on before I actually get mad. On the brighter side, the other big thing that happened outside the client is the new Pentakill. Riot teased new music a while ago, and everyone immediately jumped on the Pentakill bandwagon. While back then there was no real hint pointing towards Pentakill, so it would have been funny if it was actually the comeback of true damage. However, 2 days ago it was revealed, it is not. It all started when the official Riot Games music Twitter renamed itself to Legend of Pentakill. They then changed their icon to a brand new Mordekaiser helmet, after which they uploaded a new banner. After which we got the cover art of the new Pentakill album. Because yes, we are not getting a new Pentakill song. We are getting a whole new album with at least 10 new songs. And the reason why Riot was able to pump out so many is because, in case you don't remember, Riot has been working on new Pentakill since the 10th anniversary. If you go back to that event, you can actually hear a teaser for one of the songs. Regardless, here's what's most likely happening. Just like KDA now technically has 2 waves of new skins, KDA and KDA All Out, the same thing will most likely happen to Pentakill, because all the band members simply look different. So think of this as Pentakill All Out. Based on the cover art, we can see that Mordekaiser is a lot more angelic. His shoulder pads actually seem to have some kind of spikes or wings, as well as the holy-like helmet. Right next to him we have Sona, who here has black ponytails. This is different from the original Pentakill skin, where she didn't tie her hair. Regardless, you can also see that she's more armored, and her certain parts were nerfed. Right next to her we have Karthus, who doesn't have his face paint. Above him there is Kale, who, just like Sona, also tied her hair. That's also different from the original Pentakill skin. Below her there is Yorick, who now has a really stylish and a really wide hat. You can also see the reference to the holy vial on his neck. And above him there is Olaf, who might be the main loser of this one. Like, all of the other band members actually look really awesome, but Olaf lost his really cool hat and he now has horns. I'm not really sure what's the deal here. Regardless, all of this is teasing that all of these will get new skins. They will not be updates to the old ones. But, you know, yesterday there was a PBE day, and we got an update. And since I'm recording this before that update landed, we will now learn whether we got something new. Yep, of course we got more. As the PBE dropped, the skins were revealed, despite them not being exactly what people were hoping for. You see, when you say Pentakill, you imagine that, not exactly that. At first sight, this doesn't really scream heavy metal, or metal at all. Is it thrash metal? No. Black metal? No. Glam metal? No. So, what is it? Well, there is a bit more to this than what you may think. And honestly, even though these skins don't look the best at first sight, the background behind them is honestly pretty cool. Riot started all of this with a new video, which basically sets up the Pentakill lore. Yes, you heard it right, we will get some Pentakill lore when the album arrives. And the first video we got is just the introduction. There we learn that at the beginning of the Pentakill universe, there was silence. But then that silence was broken by old gods. These gods are called the Noisome Host. The first god was Centaurus, the Deep One, the manifestation of rage. Then there was Cacophony, the Mad One, the one who bent the insanity of cosmos. The mortals of this universe then banded together, and they worshipped these two gods. But eventually the voices of these bands manifested, and so the last god was born, Perpetuum, the Immortal One. This is the manifestation of the mortal voices. However, in return, Perpetuum banished the voices of the unworthy. And so, just like that, the three gods ruled over the mortal realms. Until Pentakill came. They were the first band that would match the power of the gods. And they broke the cycle. That's essentially the introductory lore we got. Which means that, because this is the beginning of the Pentakill universe, these skins are the origins. So the reason why the new Pentakill skins don't look very Pentakill is because this seems to be the prequel. This is how they looked at the very beginning of the creation of the realms of metal. That's why they look a bit more like Victorious skins rather than Pentakill skins. From a story perspective, this is really cool, and I really like that context. But as a skin enjoyer, I have to say, I was expecting something a bit more metal. Like, you know, once again, they turned Pentakill pretty. I was so hoping for more skulls, flames and black metal, but alas, that is not exactly what we got. Even though that is exactly what was teased in the first images. So, let's have a look at what the skins are actually like. In-game, they look decent, but the real amazement comes from the sound effects. Karthus is fine, not really the Lord of Metal, but I like how his wall has a chorus effect. Kayle is also fine, but just like the rest of the skins, I am not really a fan of the dark green and purple coloring. It doesn't really scream metal. Although, whenever she ascends, there is a pretty cool guitar riff. You may also notice that during her recall, when she's singing, she's fighting back some evil red fans. We'll get to those later. Then there is Mordekaiser, who honestly has a really cool hammer, and the sound effects once again are really awesome, but he does look more like a Victorious skin. Lastly, there is Olaf. Olaf, I am so sorry. His hair did turn pink, which might be the exact opposite of black, but also he lost his hat. His hat was really cool, his maces were also pretty awesome, now he has none of those. Then there is Sona. Sona is decent. Once again, the sound effects are absolutely stellar. But this doesn't really match the initial image. And lastly, Yorick? What happened to his hat? Like, if you go to the PBE feedback, everyone wants Yorick to have his hat. everyone wants Yorick to have a toggle to put it on. Please, Riot, do that. Yorick's head is the best thing about him. He even has it in his recall, but during the recall he throws it away. Why did you show Yorick everywhere with his hat, but in game he doesn't have it? Really, please give him his hat. And then lastly, there is the last Pentakill skin. The one that actually looks like a metal band member. Dissonance of Pentakill Viego. The outfit and the overall looks is obviously based on rock and roll. And out of all of them, he's the only one who actually fits metal. And that could be because lore-wise, it seems like Viego is going to challenge Pentakill. And after so many years of Pentakill ruling the mortal realms, he's going to give them a fight. That's why everyone is fighting those red fans. Those red wraiths are actually summoned by Viego. Those are Viego's followers. So yeah, there is going to be some really cool story. But right now, without it, the rest of the skins are fine. Viego is the only one who's actually really awesome. In fact, his blade does turn into a guitar. And there is one more really cool thing. When Viego goes into stealth, he turns into a demon. And that demon seems to be referencing Perpetuum. That's the god that manifested from the mortal voices. Remember, Viego is a singer. He has the same hole in his heart, and he also has the same horns. So once again, it seems like the story of these skins is really cool. But why didn't we get something closer to these maddening old gods and those black metal images, instead of a line of Victoria skins? I'm fine with these, and yes, there are gonna be chroma skins that will turn them dark and metal, but that's not the original. It honestly seems like a little bit of a missed opportunity. The fans of League of Legends have a lot of pretty skins to pick from, but the fans who actually like the more dark, serious skins, with a bit of metal in it, I don't think those fans are being satisfied. With that said, without a shadow of a doubt, I still believe the music will be absolutely badass. Now besides this, the last thing that appeared on PBE is Hextech Tristana. This splash art was leaked 2 patches earlier, and we haven't heard about her since. So now, finally, Hextech Tristana is being tested on PBE. But that marks the end of PBE. There was a lot, so now let's quickly blitz through the other new things. 2 weeks ago we got a post talking about the preseason of 2022, or at least the early overview. Here they mentioned that when it comes to gameplay, they will be focusing more on dragons. Once again, they will try to see if they can change the environment even more with each dragon. Like, maybe things will be on fire with the fire dragon, or maybe there will be more wind with the windy dragon. You know, stuff like that. But also, after killing each dragon, Riot will try to make each of the empowerments even more interesting. When it comes to gameplay, things are simple. We are getting more options. There will be more mythic options for support champions, and more legendary items for mages, assassins and tanks. When it comes to runes, the inspiration keystone will be reworked. And as always, other runes will be balanced. But as a new mechanic, Riot will be looking into objective bounties. This most likely means that every now and then one of the objectives around the map will just give you more things. For example, Dragon may give you double the gold. What this should do is that it should help the losing team just a little bit. Or at least Riot is trying to say that this can be a way for teams to get back into the game when they are behind. So who knows, maybe it will be favoring the losing team, just like how the objectives favored the losing team during Nexus Blitz. But other than new gameplay, Riot is also giving us new updated systems outside the game. First of all, we are getting achievements! No, don't run away, not those achievements! These are called challenges. And they are the real achievements. You know, the ones that have been teased since Season 2. Real achievements that are free, that are also included for all the different game modes. Even ARAM. And since they are not Eternals, they are not based on the champions. So the achievements here will be something like dodge 50 skill shots, last hit 200 minions under 10 minutes, you know, stuff like that. And the rewards for that will be interesting. They will be part of the new identity progression. In the preseason of 2022, Riot will be moving away from the old emblems that we have now when it comes to ranked, and especially they will be moving away from the different tiers being based on different regions. And instead we have a general gem. This gem will be placed on your profile. And Riot talked about all of that in their progression identity changes. Since this has been a while ago, long story short, you will now be able to customize your banner. This will give you different ranked options, level options, and as you can see, the different achievements will most likely give you different gems, which you will be able to place on that banner. That's what these are about. Also, once you level up, you unlock all the previous level borders. So now you will be freely able to combine different borders with different icons. But that's pretty much it for League. Now, when it comes to the other games, not much is happening. There is nothing new in teamfight tactics. You can still progress through your pass and climb in Hyper Roll. Although the Pentakill PvE also revealed new little legends. Or at least their names were found in data strings. So we know that the next wave of little legends will be about Inktails, which I assume is gonna be more fantasy. And these will be new versions of Aoshin, Feather Knight, and Petalmar. In Wild Rift we are still waiting for the arrival of Brand and Nunu. The Tiny Poro event has just ended, so nothing new there either. In Legends of Runeterra we are getting ready for the new expansion, which is revealing a lot of new champions. And you bet we are going to cover a lot of those cards. Especially the Grey Legion seems to be really interesting. But we should mention that Riot already revealed all the extra content besides the cards. This means that there is the new Bandle City board, with its own really awesome music. For Guardians we have Puffcap Pup, Gunner Pup, Professor Snappington, and Elderwood Stella. When it comes to the card backs, there is one for Poppy, Tristana, Senna, the Pup, and Caitlyn. And when it comes to the emotes, of course it is all memes. There is Surprise Pikachu, Passive Aggressive Daenerys, and whatever the last one is. Lastly, if you log into Legends of Runeterra, as part of the World Championship celebration, you'll be able to pick up a free bundle, which has a Poro card and a new Poro icon. And lastly, Valorant is also getting brand new skins. It is all based on the classic Commando arsenal, that's why it is called Recon, which basically attaches lasers to all the guns. But yes, you are not mistaken, there is also a butterfly knife, which you can spin around in the game. But lastly, there are two new things regarding the entirety of Riot Games. First of all, it seems like Worlds 2021 are moving from China to Europe. This has not been confirmed just yet, but all the journalists say so. And quite frankly, I believe them. Because China has not really been dealing with what's happening in the world that well. So it makes sense why Worlds would be moving to a different region. Especially Europe, which somehow has been dealing with what's happening by far the best out of all the other continents. Right now, my bets are on Worlds being either in Germany or France. But who knows, maybe it will be based on which country has the least regulations, so that they can shove the most people possible into an arena. Regardless, we will likely get more info on this very soon. And lastly, there is one more thing. The pricing of Riot's games has changed. With inflation being a thing, a lot of countries will now pay more for Riot's products. So countries such as Brazil, Colombia, Costa Rica, Uruguay, Peru, and Russia might be paying more. As well as, somehow exclusively for Valorant, Mexico and Chile might be paying more for guns there too. On the other side, when it comes to Europe, or specifically for the countries that use euros, British pounds, or Hungarian forints, will pay 5% less. Damn it, I could have saved 50 cents!